Hiya, this video is about if you want to put a film wrap on your panniers, BMW panniers, whatever aluminium panniers you've got. I've ordered a kit from eBay. It's got a 7-year guarantee on the film, and you put it on with a wet application and put it off then from the centre, I believe. So we'll unpack it and we'll see about getting these babies blacked up. Okay, so we'll see what's come in the post. Okay, with this kit from eBay, it should have 2 test pieces, so you can apply it onto the panniers and just see if you've got the hang of it then. So let's see what we've got. That's the company I've got it from, Humvee Graphics. Okay, very helpful. Steve, who works there, very helpful on the phone. And all of these are sort of, I don't know if they're CNC cut or what, but they all are proper on the film and cut like so. So what have we got? Good instructions there. Okay. And there's the films already on, ready to go. Now these films will leave a very slight edging of your aluminium still on show. So it's very much forgiving. So you haven't got to get it right to the edge or overlap or any of that business. So let's get a bottle of stuff and I'll talk to you on the next part now on applying it. Okay then, so we're just about to start, just setting up now to put these films on the panniers. The instructions, like I say, you'll get 2 graphics there showing your left and right pannier and the description of each placement on which side. So you can't go wrong really, just match them up. Okay, I'm going to cut off the films, I'm going to cut them out separate, so I'm only dealing with 1 piece at a time. Okay, and also you've got then the full instructions. Now normally I don't personally read instructions, typical bloke. However, I have on this occasion because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get loads of creases and air bubbles in it, so I'm just following it to the T. And what it's telling me is I've got, because it's a wet application like a lot of films, I've put a part soap solution, so I've just used some any fairy up liquid and some water. Okay, I've got some methylated spirits and just some kitchen towel because I've not got cotton wool or anything, but that's just to degrease. You could use surgical spirits or anything like that. So even though the panniers are brand new, it's still probably got some residue on it or something, so I just want to clean that off and clean the whole boxes, do that first side that I'm going to do once more, and then I'll start the application. And I've also, to help me, I've got off just eBay a cheap pack of squidges and rubbers, and that's to do with like putting window tints on and stuff. That's less than £5 delivered, and that was from China. Okay, so cheap as chips. Let's have a go. Okay, so now all I've done is I've just cut them off the whole big sheet that comes, so they're all in separate pieces. So I'm just going to have a go on the test piece first, and we'll try that out. Okay, so I'm just going to do it on the back of this pannier and just do a test piece. I'll just mess with a little bit of this test section. That'll do. Okay, so let's clean the surface with some meths first. Like I say, these are brand new, but look at the colour. So it's taking a bit of oxidisation off it, I suppose it is. Okay, so that's clean. Let's give that a second to dry off a bit. Put that back on. Put it on the floor, keep safe. Right. Solution, wrap, and a squidgy. Right. I think the trick is as well, if you've got dry fingers and you've taken it off the film, the instruction says to wet your fingers up because it will come through like a fingerprint through the film. So anyway, let's apply this. So it's nice and wet. Put this on my fingers. Take this on the film. It's coming off not too bad. I'm going to put that on here. Okay, then they say put it on the top as well. So I'm going to do that and then work out from the centre. So just get it into position and play with it. You can play with it, look, with all this water on, if you can see that or not. But you can play with it, put it where you want. Okay, then I'm going to squidgy it out. Actually, that's not bad. I think the secret to it all is the edges. Right, I've just messed with that. Let's just dry it so we can see. Okay, that's on. And that looks okay, to be honest. All the edges are done. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to carry on and do this section by section. I'll do both panniers because you don't want to see all that, it'll take ages. And then I'll come back to you when I've completed it. Okay, so I've been on this one pannier for about 15 minutes, something like that. Okay, but I've already done the top piece, which you can see is really flat as well. The end piece, okay, and the side. Okay, and also the bit that was a bit tricky was the logo bit there. But yeah, again, it's not too bad. I'll show you on this piece what I've been doing all along. Okay, so again, although it's new, I'll just get the mesh spirits on it, put the cap on. Okay, give it a good wipe, go all right to the edges just to make sure you don't leave anything. Although the black's not going on to the very edge, just still clear it just in case. I mean, look at that, that's quite black. Okay, and then dry it off with the fresh piece. It will air dry, but it's better. I think I'm just doing it, just drying it. Okay, right, now we're ready. That's the section which will go onto the end there. Okay, right, get that and soak it, just absolutely soak it. Okay, absolutely douse it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Wet your fingers. Okay, get them wet. Alright, now we'll start off on here. I'm trying not to crease the end if I can, just peeling it back like that. Okay, separation. It's a bit tricky when you get into these little thin bits up here. Now what I tend to do now is wet the adhesive. Okay, now I can pop that on there, and then I'll peel this off. Okay, throw that away, wet the adhesive again. Right, now I'm going to play with it a bit. Just wet my fingers, just get it constantly moving now, see where we can position it. Okay, if you can see it slides, yeah, so I'm just going to try and position it now. I'm just looking at the straight edges along here. Yeah, that looks good enough to me, to be honest. So wet the top. Okay, then with your flat squidgy, work out from the centre to the edges. Okay, and you're just expelling all that water from underneath. Okay, firm but sure movement. Okay, you can see it running all. Yeah, just get something to dry it off a bit. Okay, work your way into a line and then down over that lip. Okay, now the thing I have learned is this, is on the edges are so critical on putting this wrap on your panniers. Okay, right, we're nearly there. Just work your way. What you tend to do now is just working my way towards the ends of this. Now see, that can move on the water, yeah. Okay. It's a bit finicky, but you'll get there. Okay, make sure you do by these rivets. Right, there you go. That's pretty much it done. And once I've finished all this, what I will do is I'll get a hairdryer and then I'll warm the film up while I do it, and that will just really make sure that adhesive has got it. Okay, you can, if you've got a little area to put, if it's lifting the heat off your thumb, just press it for about 20-30 seconds. That will set the adhesive off. Okay, and that's it. Just an eyeball now and a check. Yep, so there we go. Not bad. Okay, I'll finish it off. Okay, at last, it's took me an hour and 20 minutes to do these two panniers, but I'm just ready to go over with a hairdryer now. Okay, it was the edges that I find which was the hardest point, to make sure you squidge out to the centre, from the centre outwards, and make sure you get, I didn't have really any air bubbles or any creases whatsoever. I was well surprised, but I'm going to go over the hairdryer now and just have a look now. Okay, I'll just do one just to show you. Just warm it up, warm that film up, just warm that adhesive up. Okay, run it with your fingers, check with your eyes, all the corners, just check on these corners here. Because what you don't want is them corners lifting, which will fetch that wrap off, that film off. Okay, just checking for any okay, that bit's okay, right. So I'll go over later with the hairdryer on the other panels, but if you look now, okay, that's a pretty good job for a DIYer. Alright, so if I can do it, I think anyone can do it, that's for sure. If it was probably 20, I'd probably end up making it look like a crisp packet, to be honest. But there you go. Okay, and even across that logo again, that's come out really well. Alright, that's the other one. Okay, all done, and on the base as well. So, not bad. From Humvee Graphics, they're on eBay. The kit cost around, I think, £59 delivered. But great, set of BMW panniers now with the black wrap, matte black. 7-year guarantee, fantastic. Okay, any questions, just send them in.